So ever since I was 21, I have been searching for something to be a part of, a group to socialize with, grow and build with. All right. I wanted a platform where I felt a sense of identity or belonging through identity also. So when I was in my, until I got around 27 years old, I did not find that. So I remember asking my grandmother certain things about our lineage, and she just didn't want to answer. So I couldn't get anything really from my family at that time. I didn't get information about us, our lineage and things of that nature until later on in life. But I remember, reading certain books. I wasn't as into Black history as I should have been, but I read a few books. Most of them were kind of like more Afrocentric than anything else, okay? All right, so I think I read, way back then, I read From Babylon to Timbuktu, all right? And other books that were so-called Afrocentric, because that's all that I was given as something to identify with and group myself as. I also read a book called The Black Indians. And I remember at that time I was working as an assistant teacher at this school, and I was talking to, or I was reading a book, or I had it in my hand or something, and one of the principals seen it. He saw me with it, and we started talking about it. So the next day he came, he brought me pictures of his ancestors, and he said they were Indians, and he told me the tribe and all that. So needless to say, I got on the Afrocentric side. I can't say I was a Pan-African. I definitely wasn't going around calling myself African, but I believe in flat blackness. I believe that Africa was the center. It was the biggest continent on earth with most of the darkest people, some of the darkest people that you'll see in the world. And I made it my center. So when I moved from Cali to Detroit, I met the so-called conscious community through a young man that I met at a Dr. Isham. I don't want to mess his name. I'm gonna say Dr. Shango, Ishakamusha Barashango. Ishakamusha Barashango did a lecture in Detroit, and I was there. And I met this dude, and he introduced me to, the dashiki and wearing people, the people that's wearing that. What's the name of that Ghana cloth? I can't think of. Going around with unks and other African jewelries and necklaces and stuff like that, wearing African style clothes and the whole 9 yards. Most of these people were so-called hoteps. So you would have thought that we came from ancient Egypt yesterday and landed in Detroit, the way that they identified with that nation. And I ain't gonna lie, I loved the the Mayat little statuettes that I saw, and all the other ones, and got into Anubis. And one dude, he called himself teaching the Medu Neter. I was in that class for a minute, but I couldn't focus on really complete nothing because what I was going through, my mind was scattered. But yeah, it was the whole 9 yards, which was okay. I didn't know no better at that time. I didn't know well, I'm not going to go into that yet. So getting to know these people, just like everybody else, they're people. They are not perfect. They have their vices and their virtues, but there was a lot more hate than I was comfortable with. Jealousy, backstabbing, gossiping. You know, I'm the type of spirit and attitude that, you know, I know we're both into this black conscious stuff and hotep stuff. We're into that, but I'm not into you. We're not into each other. We just come together every once in a while, and you know, I might have some incense for you to buy and stuff like that. So through there, I got to read more Afrocentric books, how Europe underdeveloped Africa, and oh, it was so many that I read. I can't even remember all of them, honey. I read so many books. Not one book that focused on our history here in America. So I meet up with this Ia. She was a Ifa priestess through a friend of mine who was a friend of mine at that time in Detroit. This was like a long time ago. Let me back up. So we did a retreat. I went on a retreat with these same Afrocentric folks, wearing all kind of African clothes and stuff. Most ain't never even been to Africa. A lot of us, you know, had Kemetic names, some African names and stuff. And when I tell you, most of these people are older, the elder population. When I tell you that, oh, it was so nasty there, those people. So many people were so mean to each other. You're like, well, dang, what did I do? So again, I'm into this environment that they were calling culture. I'm into this. And I see you are too, but I ain't into you again. And we're not in with each other or whatever. Moving forward, met the Ia woman. Same crap, different person. Same story. She was worse than all of them. I had to leave her house or crew or gang or whatever she was calling her little, you know, the people that she was supposedly over as a priest. Because I had gotten my lekes through her, but I didn't get my warriors. I had to leave her alone. She was just too messy. So fast forward, I come here to where I'm at now, searching for the, again, so-called conscious community. And I will say that at least the one in Detroit, they were doing something. We had a lot of groups going on, certain events we would have that everybody could go to, and we had these folks out here. Oh my God. Every now and then you might see them doing something, but it's not it's not in a way that brings us together as a people and binds us. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, we got this going on so we can make some money type of thing. These people really out here, they ain't doing nothing but trying to be an African. Baby, if you got to try to be African, you're not African. All right? You're not African. So I really distanced myself from these people. I don't think I ever really, truly belong, even though I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of fun with the so-called conscious community people and the people I met in that community, quote unquote, and through that quote unquote community I had a lot of fun, not gonna lie. But I'm at the point now where I'm no longer interested in meeting no so-called conscious people, all right? So where I'm at is more like people into voodoo and You know, they're tarot readers, and a lot of them are Afrocentric and dressed too. Even though they haven't really taken it so far as changed their names. I don't want to meet no so-called conscious people anymore. God forbid, Afrocentric and Pan-African. Oh my God. I don't even want, I don't want to have a conversation with you. There's hardly anything that I would, anything that we would talk about that would make sense to me, because I'm just not there anymore. If that works for you, it works for you. But I don't want to meet no people from these communities, because they're not even communal. Everybody is so detached. Nobody really is working toward anything to build not only the people who have dedicated themselves to coming around you, and when you do have something, spending their money with you, but it's just you don't do anything for the community. You in a worse spot than you were when I first met you about 10, 11, 12 years ago. So I'm not interested in none of these people. I ain't trying to meet no more mystic and occult people. I'm not trying to mix up with you and hang out with your ass no more. I am done. I want to meet people who are into capital ventures and getting together and learning how to day trade. That's who I want to meet now. I want to meet people who are talking about IT and AI, information technology, and artificial intelligence. I want to meet people into robotics and computer science and stuff like that. That's the type of people I want to meet now. I don't want to see and be around none of the folks that I used to hang with. I am done. I am done. I feel like, especially here, I wasted so much time. So much time. I wish I'd have made the decision to leave those type of people alone in 2008. I just kind of like drifted away from them in the last few years, not even trying. It's not feeding my spirit. It's just not feeding my soul. It's doing nothing for me. Y'all, let's divorce all these weird people in these groups and stuff like that. Let's get with people that are going somewhere, who are in current times. A lot of people are they're invested in American history and who they are, who their people were on this land hundreds of years ago. You know what I'm saying? They're studying their lineage. Now, get with people like that. Get with people who are who are into finance and trying to teach and learn opportunities in the financial sector, how to invest, how to get your stuff in order. There is your business. What do they call it? I can't even think of it. But anyway, just trying to build yourself in a tangible way that, after a while, people and you yourself, which is most important, can see the results. Shoot, get with people who are, like I said, grouping up to invest. And there's so much that we could be doing. I'm sorry, my mind is blank. It's hard for me to get a lot of things out that I want to say, because I can't even remember what I want to say. Stuff be right on my tongue, but you know what I'm trying to say. You know exactly what I am trying to say. Get with people like that. Leave these other people alone. Now, going back to Detroit, there is a lady, Mama Shu, that's doing it in Detroit. And she was one of the first people that I had met when I met the so-called conscious community. But look her up, Mama Shu. And she is CEO, Avalon Village. It was her idea, and she has transformed a whole neighborhood through her vision. So she's still very, how I want to say it, pro-race or whatever. But she's just not talking and dressing, walking down the street wearing unks and African head wraps and stuff like that. She's doing something. She be doing pop-ups for people so they can vendor and show the world what they have and get paid and make money. As a result, she encouraged women to do. She's doing something. Now, if I was back there in Michigan, I would be around her. And she ain't just, just wearing what she's saying. She's actually doing something. So these so-called weird ass, strange laws, identity crisis having folks, leave them alone. Unless they doing some big things and affecting the people that support them and the community at large in a very positive way. All right, so yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Forgive me for the blunders, but like I said, it's the big message. It's the big message. All right. So I'm done. I'm not looking for people like that. The people here that I met years ago, I'm not interested in hanging with you and doing nothing with you. If you have something pop up, something that I may like, I'm not going just for you, but I might find something that I like there. Get away from these people. They ain't doing nothing. Peace.